that pink champagne. I'm totally vibing. It's true what they say. It's all about timing. I'm doing okay. For the first time in a while, can't help but love my style. Just caught in the feeling. So much glitter, you can't forget her. A superstar, like ooh. We just get better, our dreams get bigger.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I actually had the opportunity to work with a new brand in this video, Jofay Fashion, and they reached out to me via email, and I was like, I'd love to try their nail tips because I have seen other content creators review their stuff, and I was genuinely very curious to, the quality and things like that, and if I would ever recommend these products. So here are what my natural nails are looking like. They're very tore up, very beat up prior to this video, and I was like, I need to get something on my nails quick, so this was a perfect opportunity. They gave me an option to choose 2 items, so they gave me an option to choose this 19 size nail tip box, and I chose the short Coffin clear, and I am actually, this was really cool because usually a size 0, my thumb is a size 0, but these size 0s are actually too big for me. So I actually had to go down to a size 1, and like I mentioned, I was really surprised about that because normally I wear a bigger size. So I could tell that I know I would be able to find, obviously you have 19 options, so if you take nail clients and things like that, you would have, these tips will last you a while. So I did do the bend test, and it did have the white line down the middle, and then when you bend them back, the white line does disappear. I kept dropping the nail tip, but the white line does disappear, and that is a good thing. So because obviously they're not going to snap and break and everything like that on you, even though they are a little more on the thin side. So I really like that as well. And they're also full matte, so you don't have to do a lot of prep. And if you're going to use them as press-ons, then you don't have to do a lot of extra work. So that leads me into the kit that they also sent me. I thought this was going to be like a Gel X dupe kind of kit, and it actually ended up being a press-on kit. And I was like, well, that's interesting because they included a lamp, right? So I was just fully prepared for Gel X. And I was like, okay. Let's go over some of the other things that are in the kit really quick. They gave this really nice buffer. So you get a full-size nail file and buffer. You get a couple of wooden cuticle pushers, and then they also give you a nail stand. And I was like, well, that's really interesting as well. And then, of course, like the little stickers that go on top of the nail stand to hold the nail on. And I was like, this is okay. You get some lint-free wipes and things like that. So I'm thinking, like, where is this going, like Gel X wise? Of course, they include little pamphlets and things like that. And then these are the nail tips themselves. I did choose the short square pink ones because I just kind of wanted to see how the short would look on my nail beds and how long they actually were. And of course, here are the instructions on how to apply it. So after I started reading the instructions, I started to catch on that this is, you apply these like press-ons. But what I really like about this kit is that it's just like, if you are not acquainted with using gel products that cure in a lamp, this would actually be really perfect for you to do that with. So you got some really, really pretty nail stickers and things like that for you to decorate your nails before you apply them as press-ons. And then these came with like 10 different bags of these press-ons. I thought that was kind of neat the way that they have these separated as well. Normally you see them on like those long things so you have to twist them off. And then, of course, your primer, your top coat, and your nail glue. But I thought it was cool that they came in these little bags, mostly because you can just use a bag at a time, get your sizes out, and things like that. You don't have to worry about a big box, so easy storage. And so here I am just sizing my nails out. Now with these full cover tips or press-ons, you can always customize them to fit your cuticles. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just filing around the edges because they were a little square all the way around, which is okay. Not everybody's nail beds are the same, and so you can adjust those and customize them before you start doing your design and putting the top coat on and things like that. And that's just in general, with any kind of press-ons. And I also love the fact that they already have the French tip. I love French tip nails, and it's just very, very convenient. I was a little concerned that they weren't going to fit very well around the cuticle until I started to apply them, not because they're thin or anything, but just because my natural nails are a little curved. So if you have flat nail beds, these would actually be perfect for you. Mine are a little more curved, and they just, at first it didn't feel like they were really going to fit around my nail the best, but they did end up fitting really well, and you'll see that here in a moment. But what I decided to do is I got my own press-on stands, and I went ahead and decorated the nails and put the top coat on before I glued them onto my nails. Just like if you were to receive a set of press-ons in the mail, they're already top coated and ready to go before you put them on. Especially once I figured out that these were not Gel X. You can apply them with Gel X. I mean, they are very sheer, they're very transparent. I am pretty sure that the glue would cure all the way through, but I always like to use products the way that they are intended. So if these were intended to be glue on press-on nails, then I am not going to use them as Gel X, that kind of thing. So that's just me personally, but like I said, this is a really, really good starter kit. It will get you acquainted with using top coat and gel products to cure in a lamp. I did end up using my big lamp, and I'm going to put that mini lamp in my giveaway. And I have like 4 or 5 of those little mini lamps. I just really don't need anymore. But it did come with the charging cable and everything that you would need to use it. And they're all, I'm not going to say they're all the same, but they're kind of all the same. They all work very similar. So yeah. And they're usually pretty strong, so they would definitely cure this top coat because it's clear. You don't have to worry about thick or color gel polishes in this case, because the nails are already pre-color or nude. Of course, you can paint them however you want. You can go over them however you want. If you purchase this kit, I will leave all the information and stuff like that in the description box, but I really did enjoy using it. So the other thing that I did was I went ahead and filed those little nubs off on the end after I cured my top coat, because I just think it looks more crisp. And throughout the week that I've been wearing them, I did make sure that, the Frenchies weren't chipping as I was wearing them and using them, and they did not. So the top coat did a really good job of making sure that the tip doesn't chip and different things like that. And then here I am, I'm just wiping off after I cure the top coat and filed them all down, I went ahead and wiped them with a lint-free wipe and alcohol before I started with the prep process. So I did use the buffer to remove the shine from my natural nails, and then I went back in with that lint-free wipe with some rubbing alcohol and cleaned all the dust off of my nail just to make sure that it's really clean. And then to strip it even a little bit further of those natural oils, I did go ahead and use the primer. So these nails are still on my hands. I have to physically take them off so I can do my next set. So this nail glue is really strong. I have been really sick and I haven't really been able to smell anything, but I decided I wanted to do a sniff test and it worked. Like, it is very, very strong. I was actually able to smell this nail glue. So just a heads up on that. Don't do a sniff test. It works and it's strong. But it is a little more on the thin side, but that is almost every single nail glue that you'll find on the planet. A lot of them tend to be more on the thin side. So I went ahead and took my nail off the stand and made sure that it still fit. Obviously, before you apply it, I always just triple check that it's still going to fit my nail well. And then what I'm doing is I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on my natural nail. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to it will start drying. But then when you put the glue on the nail tip and you put the nail tip on your natural nail, it helps it stick a lot better, but it also kind of builds up the product a little bit, like the nail glue, so that you don't have a lot of air bubbles. So that's another reason, is to avoid air bubbles and why I do it this way. So then I just took honestly, because my thumbnail is wider, a lot of glue. And put a couple of big dollops in there. And then, of course, making sure not to touch the underside of the nail, I go ahead and put it at a 45-degree angle. And then I press it down on the nail, and then you'll see me go in with the tip of my other thumb and press it down and hold it. Now, I did have a lot of air bubbles, and that is not the press-on's fault. That is my fault, because I like to take my finger or my thumb that I'm using to apply pressure and look at the press-on while I'm doing it, and I should not do that. Because it creates air bubbles. But also kind of having that glue underneath kind of helps the glue on the tip stop from running all over in the sides and the crevices and your cuticles and things like that. So I just prefer this method of applying press-ons, and you can see it looked really, really nice at first, and then I moved my finger and my thumb and it was like, no, it didn't like me after that, and it was like, oh, here are some air bubbles. But that didn't bother me. That is not the press-on or company's fault or anything like that. It's just my application. So yeah, I did not do it any justice in that form or in that regard, but I did use the tips as they were intended. And after I had them on, I was like, wow, like you'll see that the press-ons are nice and flush, and they actually look very natural, and I really, really like that. They are on the flat side, of course, yes, but they're short press-ons. I wouldn't expect anything more from shorter press-ons. They're not going to have like a higher apex, like something a little bit longer and things like that. I mean, so that's just the way that full cover tips work in general. So I wasn't too worried about that. And honestly, if they lasted as long as they have so far, plus some days, because I have to physically take them off, like I am not mad about that. So the nail glue is good. The tips were good. They were sturdy. They did what they were supposed to do. So overall, I am very happy with this kit. So, and I also know that Jofay Fashion has a lot of really, really pretty press-ons. Like they have different variety boxes with different colored press-ons that are already different colors and things like that, because I've seen them on other people's channels and they are just so, so beautiful. So then I took these little, like, if I did have any glue around the cuticle, I did go ahead and take one of these little like cotton swab things that I got from TEMU, and I cleaned up around the cuticle and to get the nail glue off. I stopped using the rubbing alcohol and a lint-free wipe to do that because the nail glue turns white. And I didn't like that. So I think I'm going to start including these little cotton swabs in my press-on kits so that people can clean around their cuticles in case they get glue that leaks out and things like that. So I just showed you these first few fingers and how I applied my press-ons, but here's how everything is looking. They're so cute, and I absolutely love butterflies. But I want to thank you all so much for being the best part of my channel, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in my next one.